let's meal prep for a successful week. Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me. It's after vacation aftermath. So this week it's just kind of getting, back on track, and I'm just going to stick to the exact same goals that I've had before. One thing on vacation, I didn't drink as much water, and I even bought some bottled water, but it just sort of was less convenient, I guess, to have. And so I didn't do as well on that. So just really getting back into those good habits. Still 1,300 to 1,500 calories, 4,000 steps a day, more than 64 ounces of water a day, and just really kind of focusing back in on those habits. I do have a knee injury from vacation, so I'm just really, my body doesn't like to cooperate with everything I want it to do. So I wind up pushing myself a little harder than I should sometimes, and that's what happens. So the steps are going to be tough for me this week, but I'm just going to take it easy. And I decided that doing, a bunch of 5-minute sessions, even if it's just walking around my house, is just as good as doing, the big loop around my neighborhood. So that's what I'm going to try and do, just to kind of get as many steps in as I can. Even if I miss the 4,000 mark, if I at least come close or closer, then that's still a success for me. So this week is going to be a little rough on the steps, so the nutrition and the water is going to be super important. There's a couple of diets I'm looking into, because I think it'd be kind of fun to try, try a diet for a week. And there's a couple that I'm doing some research on, so that might be coming soon. We'll see if it's something I think that I can do and would be successful on. But I'm doing some research right now. So just trying to do a few things to just sort of switch it up and keep it fun, keep it interesting, stay motivated, all the things, right? This week is also my birthday week. I'm going to try very hard not to make it a multiple day celebration, right? So like I mentioned before, I'm really good at making, birthdays be 3 days of still eating leftover birthday cake. So I'm going to really try hard not to do that this time and just have, my birthday be one day and that's it. So that's something I'm working on this week. I'm going to be doing for breakfast just my standard. I'm going to do 2 eggs with avocado toast on the 45 calorie Sara Lee bread. So I'm going to be making what I call shepherd's pie. Depending on the area of the country, I feel like different people call it different things. And I'm sure in some areas this is not a traditional shepherd's pie. It's pretty much just a fridge clean out is kind of how I do shepherd's pie. So you can just do whatever you want. But what I do is I just sort of track the entire amount. I make it into 6 servings. So I track the whole amount, divide it by 6. And that's how I know, what my calories are for each serving. And then as always, I load up the other side of my meal prep with veggies, because the more veggies you can get in, the fuller you are. So let's get started with that meal prep. For lunches this week, I'm going to be making what I call shepherd's pie. I don't know that it's actually shepherd's pie. It's just sort of what I've always done. And it probably has some other name that it actually is, but that's okay. So in my casserole dish, I use whatever leftover meat I have. So I've done this with chicken. I've done it with, you name it, I've done it. Today I have some 93% lean ground beef, and also some pork chops that I had trimmed of all the fat and then ground up. And so it's a mixture of half pork and half beef. So that's what I've got today. This has already been browned, but that's why some of it's light and some of it's dark, because some of it's pork and some of it's beef. And then you can take any veggies that you have. So if you have some like leftover asparagus, for instance, or just anything, you can throw it in there. I don't really have any open leftover veggies right now, or even any fresh. So I'm just going to take this mixed veg. This has corn and peas, carrots, green beans, a little everything. I'm going to dump that on. One is never enough, so I'm going to add some more peas. And you can tell these are still frozen, because that's why I've got clumps. And then you just break those up. And then even that out. You gotta get your hands in it so you know you're cooking. Then we're gonna top it with some mashed potatoes. And you can do, this is also an excellent usage for leftover baked potatoes if you have any. I don't happen to have potatoes right now in the house, or normally I would just, cook some up in the microwave. So instead I do have instant potatoes, so I'm gonna use those. But I don't make instant potatoes the way that the package says to. I literally just microwave a bunch of water until it's boiling hot, and then I stir in flakes until it becomes instant potatoes. That's it. I don't add butter. I don't add anything else. So it's a whole lot better for you this way. And because I'm putting it into this pan, it's going to melt with all the other flavors. And so even though it's instant, so if instant grosses you out, you don't have to do that. Use real, it's fine. But because it is going to be in this dish, it's not, you know, you don't miss any of the kind of butter and milk and whatever else it might have called for. You don't miss any of that because you already have a lot of flavors going on. So I like it. My family likes it. That's what matters. I had started with about 3 cups of water. And that tends to be enough. I don't want it to be real thick because obviously, I mean, potatoes are not going to be the healthiest part of this dish, right? I'd rather have way more veggies and less potatoes. But it's important. You can tell these are really hot. And I'm just going to get that all around like I'm frosting a cake. At this stage, you can also add whatever seasonings you like. You don't have to add any seasonings at all, but if you want to, I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of garlic powder and some onion powder. There we go. And then I have 2 ounces. This is just medium cheddar, and I've already weighed this out. That's why it's on a plastic. This is just 2 ounces of shredded cheese. So it's just going to add a little something. It's not going to be a completely cheesy top because, again, I'm trying to keep my calories reasonable. And then I'm going to bake this. My oven's already preheating at 350. So I'm just going to bake it for about a half an hour. Really, it doesn't, all I'm trying to do is kind of brown the top a little bit, get the cheese to melt. Everything in here is cooked. I'm just going to, you know, my vegetables are probably half thawed right now because the potatoes are so hot. So really, I'm just sort of trying to get all the flavors to meld together and to just get it just a little tiny bit brown. So about a half an hour should do that. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, that's out of the oven, and I've cut that into 6 servings. So I've got my meal preps here. And this is what I do also with the meal preps is I'll just use up, like I had some of those green beans left, so I used those up, and then I moved into broccoli. So whatever you've got is fine. The other thing I wanted to mention too is I told you I combined the beef and the pork for the meat in this. So that actually gave me 2 pounds of meat, and I only need 1 pound for this. So with the rest of it, I went ahead and added taco seasoning and let that simmer. And then I added just a few black beans that I had left over in the fridge as well. So that's going to be for a taco night for us as well. So kind of as much as you can get done ahead of time just always makes life easier. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these meal prep containers, and I'll have lunches for the week. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, be sure and click that like button, click subscribe, and click the bell for notifications so you're notified each and every Saturday when I upload. And as always, please feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, encouragement for others down below in the comment section. I hope you have a very successful week, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye, guys. Like lipstick on my teeth. Well, and actually, yeah. 3 cups of milk. Clock. What am I even saying? I don't even know.